a founding member of the Brothers Incorporated Brothers. So he called up and he said, I know you guys have a revolution or whatever you would like to call it going on. But this guy, that you all are putting and clarifying his falsehood, we don't want you all to do it anymore. We don't want no more sayings of anybody who is doing any dirt, because this guy was doing dirt. He uses business, to solicit women for sex. And we were talking out against that. Yes. No, you want to know. You ask what the situation is. This is as bad as this. No, listen to me. Listen carefully, okay? I want to be clear. Not the individual that we're talking about. We're talking about a completely different individual I did not even name. But the individual we're talking, the individual with.
Is defending him.
So what was that?
You're saying this guy, Jamil, or whoever.
The president, the current president. He wasn't a president then. Yes, he tried to defend this man. Okay. And so.
This man? Who's this man?
No.
Like, which masjid are we talking about?
Okay. So the Quranic revolution broke out in the West End Center. It broke out in the ICR initially, carried over to Impala. Yes, and obviously there was some citing against Western Islamic Center, the millions that they. But anyway, all of this falls in historical data of the Quranic Revolution Declaration of 2021. The individual, currently the president of ICVA, wanted to protect, and we made it very clear to him after we allowed him to prove his case. Why do you want for us not to clarify when falsehood is there? We go back 20 years. Why do you not want for us to stand for the truth? And his rationale was because we don't want for other people to know how bad we really are. Then stop being bad. So no, we're not going to do that. Remember, mind you, that in the aspect of mathematics, business, as a matter of fact, some portion of banking, not finance necessarily, but banking, this guy is my mentor 20-something years ago. You understand? But now, under these circumstances, we have to be at odds. I am a Quranic student practitioner. I am a Quranic reciter, memorizing, mastering the art of recitation itself. Okay? Translation, understanding, application. Okay? So, when it came to Quran, I taught him Quran. 20 years ago. Not only him, I taught his family. I taught some of his nieces, some of his nephews. Jalla Jalaluhu gave me that honor. Now at this time, when I'm a Quranic activist, I don't don't allow me to continue so that I won't lose my train of thought.
What's the evidence that this guy was using his business to have sex with women? Okay,
so this again we presented during the declaration, and that was put on the YouTube. We were contacted by the business. We were contacted by, again, the current president of ICVA, and by the individual himself. And in all cases, we told them, bring whatever you have to bring, lawyers, judges, whatever, bring them on. Because we know it's clear and you know it's clear. That's why you want it out. But it's not going out. Because we're here for the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. We don't like people who lie, okay? And think that at least if you're going to lie, go lie somewhere else. Do not lie about Quran. Do not lie to our faces and think it's okay. It's okay behind our backs. We don't know anything about it. You're free to do whatever you want. But in our faces, you're not going to be lying, and we're okay with that and hide it for you. We're not going to do that. We recognize and love the truth too much. Okay? So, getting back to it again, if in fact, after 20 years, we went our separate ways, it's because of the system. And as a matter of fact, during that conversation, I recall saying to him specifically, the system is flawed too much. It is too it is too backwards. I told him to the effect that it all has to go. Just look at it right now, where you have two people who are supposedly Hafiz al-Quran. They are separating a class of 4. They have children in 4 different classes. There are only 2 of them. They have an assistant who cannot even handle 3, let alone 6, and she's in 1 class. I fill in that gap because those kids are out of hand. This man goes out of his way, the president goes out of his way to come and pull me out of that class, walk me down the hall once in a jokeful manner, in a playful manner. I have to tell him, relax, this is serious, my body is, take it easy, whatever. And then walks me down the second hall, which is between the kitchen and the living space, and down the third hall, all the way down to the prayer area, only to tell me that he didn't understand fully what we talked about yesterday, and that he needed to get my specific hours, which I already told him, they were already on the flyer that he created, right? And that he needed to check with another teacher and a bunch of more parents. Just yesterday, you said in front of another individual that you specifically had wanted a teacher and that you had these kids available, Afro-American kids, in which I told you that they were in fact deprived because you have no Afro-American Hafiz teacher ever here, ever. And these Pakistani, Arab, Indo, Bengali trying to, be and Americanize so much they only look after their own, practically, not every last one of them, and they're depriving the Afro-Americans or any who are not their own. So I said, I will take those 2 group of categories, and now you don't remember any of that, eh? Now you admitted actually, and then, okay, I had to make sure again that I said in front of the imam who could not help you, you could not even help yourself in front of your own office. You said to me something yesterday, today you showed me something different. This is all we have. What are you talking about? You said something yesterday, day before yesterday, you said I will compensate you. And I told you during the meeting, and I told you when you first said that, and I told you in front of the imam 3 times, I don't want any compensation from you. This job is for Allah and only for Allah. Anyone who thinks that they can control Quranic practitioners or the Quran just because they're paying them, go pay those who are willing to sell their akhirah for this dunya. I'm the wrong one for you. So again, now he's admitting in his text that nobody, so let's say just the people, when he says nobody, let's say the staff, let's go with that. So your staff is your teachers, right? These 2, the one who doesn't know how to pronounce sukun on top of a letter, he doesn't know how to do that. He may muffle it, or he may echo it, or he may combine it, but he doesn't know how to specifically do it. In fact, he heard it and he thought it was a different recitation, a completely different text altogether. This is how well he's educated. This is who you take your thing from. And by the way, of course, not to mention, neither of them have graduated and have the credentials of graduating Quranic students, Hifz students. Neither of them, right? The other one that you want to make or take advice from and staffing from. Okay, this individual, do you even know that they are in the profession that they're in because they were discouraged and they accepted and they lived upon discouraging others to teach Quran, including myself? This individual tried to encourage me to stop teaching Quran. This is the individual you have teaching the kids Quran. Real smart. And these are people that you say, yeah, nobody. And I would like to know, there's one brother who kept me in the masjid before I even went to teach those little kids. He was there telling me how much I should never leave the community again. Another brother there present. I know their names. I would love that brother. In fact, he prayed, and listen, he praised and glorified whatever it is he wanted to. I did not ask him to do that. But he was mentioning words of, gratitude that he's seeing me after all this time. He's going on 15, 20 minutes. I kid you not, so much so that I have to tell him after another brother is praying, like this, you're glorifying me, and here's this brother praying. I have to tell him that. But now you, Mr. President, who in the world do you speak for every member of the Islamic Center of Virginia to say that nobody? Just read it again. According to Mr. President, Mr. Adiola, nobody wants to work with me at ICVA. You know what? Maybe that clarifies why after 28 years...
Is it Jamil or Adiola? What's his name?
Well, listen, the last name is Adiola, okay? Adiola is the last name. He's the president. You have to respect him. Give him his due right. Do not call him by his first name. And I already mentioned that to you in the text. This is definitely, you know, a showdown. I have to say that.